Alright, so this video is going to be about the broadleaf sage. Now, exactly what species this is, I'm not 100% sure off of hand, but I think there's a couple flowers left on here where I can still show you what the flower looks like to some degree. It was flowering and I meant to shoot a video earlier and I just never simply got around to it. And now here we are, trying to shoot it in between the massive rainfalls we've been getting. One of the problems I had with this plant, though, particularly, is these tomatoes keep popping up around it. They are loaded with blight, early blight, and they're just literally spreading all over the place. They're getting on this poor plant. It looks like it infected the stem of the plant already, so it's probably going to die. This part of it is anyway. But it's still alive, and we can still try to see if we can get some of the review off of this thing. So here's the leaf of the broadleaf sage. Now this plant is generally more of a medicinal plant than it is an herb for cooking, but it's used in cooking quite a bit. So I'm just giving you my opinion as far as if I think that it's a medicinal plant, and it is. It's not even an opinion. This plant is used quite a bit in medicinally. It's also used in a lot of spiritual stuff. A lot of Native Americans apply this plant in their native medical practices. I don't know the right way to put it. And it's smoked a lot of the times. This plant is smoked. It's a good lung tonic for once you smoke this plant. So yeah, some people might be like, oh, well, smoking's bad for you. Yeah, and to some degree it might be, but this plant, if you mix it with other herbs and smoke it, it does open up your lungs. And it can deal with problems like bronchitis and other lung issues that you might have. So here's the leaf again, and unfortunately I don't see any flowers. I thought maybe there would be a couple flowers on here. They all went to seed already, so unfortunately I didn't get to it early enough. So it's all went to seed, and so I'll have to collect seeds off of this once it's done. But I believe this plant's a perennial. It could be a biannual or even a triannual. This is the second year this is coming up here, so it did overwinter, but I don't know if it'll come up again next year. It might just be a biannual because it grew regular and it didn't flower, but this year it flowered, so it might die, and I don't know, maybe the root system will keep going. But I'll take off a leaf and I'll take a bite of it and I'll try to describe it for you. See, I used to burn this for incense. It's got a very astringent type flavor. Very strong astringent flavor. And when you dry it out, it gets a different flavor profile. So you can apply it in cooking and stuff in different ways. But I mainly grow this out and I dry out the leaves and then I burn them in an incense burner. And it leaves a very aromatic smell inside your house. It's a wonderful plant to burn for that sense, for like an incense. And you can add this material to a smoker, you know, to like a peace pipe or a smoking pipe, and you can smoke the material. It doesn't get you high. That's not the purpose of it. It's just simply, it's really for your lungs, really. It's a tonic for your lungs. And you can smoke it, and it's very clean burning. It's not a very tar or resinous type of smoke when you burn it that way. Also, too, when you burn this as incense, it generally, it doesn't have a very resinous-y effect. So if you're burning it in your house all the time, you're not going to get resin on your white painted ceilings. But what it will do is it'll leave, that odor will linger for a little while. So if you don't really want this odor to linger around, don't burn it indoors. It's a great outdoor incense. Maybe I'll talk more about that in the future. I'll do a few videos on some of the incenses that I burn, that I enjoy burning, like frankincense and myrrh. I burn those along with this and a number of other incenses. Maybe I'll shoot some videos on that. But let me take one more bite off of this and try to describe the flavor more. It's got a very astringent flavor to it. It has like a very medicinal type of an effect. It's not like a green you would want to eat per se and just start munching this stuff, because it has a very strong effect to it. So let me take one more bite. It's got a very aromatic flavor, almost like a flower when you first start eating it. But then as you chew it, my take on it is it's a nice herb to chew to freshen your breath. It's one of those kind of herbs, like mint, for example, very strong aromatic effect. It has a nice effect to it like that. So I do like it for that reason. I'm showing you my oregano for a reason, because I got more of that mint came up over here. I don't remember if I planted it or it just came up here that way. So it's growing, but we'll leave it there because it'll come up next year. I also have more sage growing in the back garden back there. It's a very good plant to grow. I would recommend, if you like growing aromatic herbs, this would be one of the ones you'd want to add to your repertoire, your herb repertoire, and let them grow and let them come up and self-seed and, you know, grow like that. And you know, it's a good one to have around. It's also good to know its medicinal effects as well. Offhand, I don't know the medicinal aspects of it, but what I can tell you is it's got a very strong aromatic flavor. It will brighten up your palate, so if you want to get fresh breath, this is one way to do it. Getting chewed up by gnats here. So yeah, that's your broadleaf sage. Now there's a number of other sages out there. I don't know what the other ones are offhand. This is just the one that I purchased for the seeds, called broadleaf sage. But there's a number of other varieties of sage. So if you see them, pick them up, give them a grow, add them to your perennial garden, and I think you'll be good to go. All right, so like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.